My name's Connor and I'm on a solo mission up a very windy Mount Taranaki right now. And here's what to expect in this episode of OK Let's Walk.
I get very muddy boots on my way to this hidden gem of a hut, and then past this beautiful waterfall on my way to the top where I have an extremely windy night. And finally, I get a cup of fresh mountain water, but then I tip it out.
Right, so the wife has just dropped me off a little bit too enthusiastically, and we're going for a solo tramp today up Mount Taranaki, as you can see behind me. Wife is picking me up tomorrow at Dawson Falls, so my task is to, at some point by 12 o'clock tomorrow, be in that car park. So we're going to head in, go to Waiaua Gorge. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I find it very difficult to read my own language, let alone another, but hey, we try to get the pronunciation correct. But we're gonna go to that hut first, which should take us about 2.5 to 3 hours. Then from there, we're gonna go up onto the ridge where I have my tent, and we're gonna try find a nice place to camp, because camping up there is a big dream. I've always wanted to do it, you know, unzip it in the morning and see, probably just cloud, let's be real, but yeah, we'll see what we can get. But you know, the view of, you can just see the ocean behind me here, and then the view of all of Taranaki would be absolutely awesome. So that's the goal. And then we're gonna go down to Lake Dive and out to Dawson Falls. So either camping at Lake Dive tonight or the plan up on the ridge. Now this was a suggested video from one of my viewers who left a lovely comment suggesting I go to Lake Dive, in which I said it unfortunately has burnt down, which is a real shame, because back in 2020 I did come here with my dad, and we managed to get up to Lake Dive, and it was actually his first tramp I ever took him down on. So real shame it's burnt down, but we're going to go to where it at least was, because it's a good camping area. So that's option B for camping if need be. But otherwise, weather's an absolute cracker today, a little bit on the windy side, but at least you can see the mountain. Hopefully you can see it behind me if I've exposed this right. So yeah, come along for the adventure. Okay, let's walk. This first section here is farmland, but you've got plenty of little orange markers letting you know that this is the way to go.
This farm section only takes a minute or two before diving deep into the bush, which I was immediately greeted with mud, and then more mud, and just for good measure, just a bit more mud. But thankfully there were plenty of small streams to wash it all off, and the combination of gaiters and waterproof boots made for easy walking through. And once the muddy parts eased off, I was able to enjoy the nature just a little bit more. The lower parts of this mountain tend to have lots of vines and small plants, and the higher you climb, the more lush the forest becomes. There is a new route to get to the hut now that takes you down to the river and walk up it for about 500 meters. And it was at this point I was starting to get a little bit thirsty.
And what a spot to stop for a quick drink of water. Man. What a wonderful, wonderful country we live in. Man, that's beautiful. Right, so we made it to the hut, but I've just seen the sign over there that says 7 hours to Lake Dive, so we're not getting to Lake Dive today, but I still want to make the ridge. And it is 3 o'clock now, so giving me about 3.5 to maybe 4 hours of decent sunlight, which I'm going to say about 3.5. So it's going to be packed back on and boosted up there as fast as I can, because I don't really want to be doing that last part and setting up my tent in the dark. So here's a quick review of the hut and I'll be on my way.
The spacious hut has the main dining area and kitchen in the main room, with a lovely fireplace and 2 sleeping rooms through these doors. Outside is a water tank and a nice deck to sit on when the weather is good. But sadly, I didn't have much time to do so, as I needed to make the top before it was dark, so I carried on.
Right, well, so for the past hour and a half, I haven't done any footage because it's just been head down and go. So we're fighting the light a little bit, but I've just broken out into the subalpine and I can see the tussocks and it doesn't look too far. So maybe another 40-45 minutes and then we'll be able to find a place to set up our tent, which is a big relief because rain's starting to come in. My legs have been cramping, something chronic, but it's just been gritting my teeth and getting it done. And that's half of it out here, is no one's out here to hold your hand. Got to hold your own hand and get it done. So feeling quite proud of myself at the moment, even though for some of you this might be real easy. For me, yeah, it's a bit of a slog. It's a bit of a slog. So happy. Right, let's carry on and head up to the tussocks and set up this tent. And there is our last little section up there, little traverse, and then just over that ridge, hopefully, is a nice place to put my tent. But of course, the rain has decided to come out and say hello, which is just awesome for the last little bit. And then it'll be there while I set up my tent, most likely. And but thankfully, thought ahead, and I've brought a little towel, so hopefully we can dry off a little bit. I've also got a spare change of clothes and a nice warm meal waiting for me. Right, might be another bit of head down, and I'll see you when I'm setting up camp. Right, well that last section was a lot more than I bargained for. The rain really started to come down quite a bit, so it was not the funnest time. So I've gone in, everything's absolutely soaked. The rain's really starting to pack in, and but I do have a lovely can of Coke that I've been looking forward to, and something to raise the spirits. Well, I'm knackered. It's been a big day, so might try to get some shut-eye, and hopefully this wind doesn't keep me up all night. And I'm just knackered. I'll see you in the morning. Right, so it is the next morning. It was a bit of a rough night, that one. It was incredibly windy, as you may have heard if that clip from last night worked out. But yeah, just as I was coming up onto these tussocks, it just started pouring down with rain. So everything got absolutely soaked, and by the time I got my wet weather gear on, everything was just from head to toe soaked. So I went into the tent all wet, and nothing dried overnight, obviously. So no better feeling than putting on some wet socks, wet boots and wet pants in the morning. So definitely gonna get on the move now. I can see just down there Lake Dive, that's where we're gonna head to and take a look at where Lake Dive Hut used to be. And then from there we're gonna head out to Dawson Falls, where I should hopefully get picked up. But otherwise it is quite a nice day. It is still very windy, very cold. I'm gonna put some gloves on in a second, but the views are stunning, so nothing to complain about really. When you're out here, it's just stunning. Right, let's get a move on. I'm really cold. The wind is definitely picking up now. I've still got a few ridges to go over before we head down into the bush. I'm looking forward to going down into the bush. This wind is cutting me in my wet clothes. I'm tired. I had a terrible sleep. This wind is just insane. I'm struggling just to stand up. Hopefully it's only another 20 minutes to the drop off. I can just see Lake Dive now. Wow, this is windy. Yeah, it's hard to walk. But thankfully, I'm walking with the wind, so it's giving me a nice little push, so I don't have to put too much effort into walking. But sometimes it's pushing me, and I feel like I'm gonna fall over. It's getting a bit dicey. Man, I can't wait to hit that bush line.
Sheltered from the wind, I found this lovely little stream to stop and have a quick drink from.
Nothing beats some good snow melt water. Oh, that's good. Man, that's good. Bit on the cold side, but still very refreshing. actually a real shame this hut burnt down. Back in 2020 when we were in lockdown, I was watching a lot of videos on tramping and hunting and all that sort of stuff. And my dad said he would love to come out with me one time, so I picked a trip and it was to this hut, Lake Dive. So it's a real shame that it's burnt down because, you know, some real cool memories there. And unfortunately, we can't ever come back to the hut. We can come back to where it was, you know, maybe camp or something, but yeah, it's just not the same. In that same trip, we went up to Simon's hut, which we got up most of the way, and it was very icy. We were very ill prepared, and my dad said, nah, safety wise, you know, I just don't think it's a good idea. And I was a bit, okay, yeah, fair enough. And then two French people came the other way. Now my dad, being Dutch German, was not having it. He was not going to be beaten by the French, so we went up, and it was incredibly slippery, incredibly dangerous. Someone had to sort of help us down a little bit with a bit more equipment, but yeah, so it's cool memories that I'm really going to cherish. And of course got some real cool photos up there. But oh well, the hut is unfortunately burnt down. I'm not too sure how this one burnt down, but often it's people putting ash underneath the hut instead of in designated barrels, which are often provided. So, and then that sort of catches a light, which is really unfortunate. So, oh well, is what it is. And now I've got about a 4-hour walk, 7 Ks out to the car park. I'm not going to meet that 12 o'clock pickup, but I just called the missus and said maybe 2 o'clock. So we'll try shave the time down a little bit. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
If you like this video, check out some of my other content I have on my channel. And if you've got a track or a hut you want to see in a video, leave a comment below and I'll see you there.